Get ready for an epic showdown like no other. Join me as we dive deep into the adrenaline-pumping trailer of Deadpool vs. Wolverine, where two iconic mutants collide in a clash of wit, humor, and raw power. Let's break down every explosive moment and dissect the excitement scene of the trailer and connect it to comics books. This sequence in the trailer of Deadpool and Wolverine is exactly the same from Spider-Man 1, where Peter first encountered the character of Flash Thompson. Here we see something like many tall towers. Now look, it is not clearly visible, but it can be easily guessed that these are the graves of all the mutants. Such graves have also been shown in the comics of Day of Future Past and, interestingly, Day of Future. These graves look very similar to the Sentinel's ship in the Past movie. Of course, we often see Wolverine in bar fights, from the 2000 X-Men film when he severed that shotgun to 2011's X-Men First Class when he told Charles and Eric to go, beep, themselves, to the 2013 bar fight with the dudes who killed that bear, and then the removed Indian scene from the 2013 film that would have called back that same bar in the 2000 X-Men film. But I'm wondering, could this bar fight be the man with metal claws, fights, and bar brawl from the headline in She-Hulk? You'll notice Hugh Jackman in this movie. Who is this Wolverine? I think we're looking at a Wolverine from a different timeline who failed to stop a grisly fate of all the X-Men. It could have been a mutant massacre on Genosha by Cassandra Nova, or like a part of the timeline after the events of Days of Future Past, where the X-Men all started wearing these brightly colored suits that were comic accurate, or maybe some incursion wiped them all out. It's worth noting that in the Genosha massacre in X-Men 97, the Watcher was overseeing it, suggesting some kind of multiversal imports to shows the villain in this movie, Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrin, coming from the open skull mouth of the corpse of a giant Ant-Man, which we do see a better shot of later. Charles Mumidry, which is a term from the Shire Empire. The Shire are an alien race who we spent some time with in episode 6 of X-Men 97. A Mumidry is kind of like a spiritual cosmic shadow self that every person has, but in the case of Charles Xavier, his advanced telepathy caused his Mumidry to manifest in flesh, a fetus joining him in the womb. These two fetuses fought and Charles destroyed her, but part of her clung to life in a sewer and grew into Cassandra Nova, who comes back to revenge and Grant Morrison's E is for Extinction storyline. E is for Extinction storyline. So Cassandra in the comics finds in the jungles of Ecuador a master molded giant sentinel printing machine and uses that and both of our Trask to print a wild sentinel, a three-headed kaiju that she deploys against Genosha to kill 16 million mutants. We actually see this massacre in X-Men 97, and we're kind of waiting to see if Cassandra Nova's behind this attack, or if it's a doing of another villain that they've introduced in the show, like Sinister, or maybe Bastion or Apocalypse, or maybe all of them. But I just love that casting Emma Corrin, who's best known for playing the younger Diana Spencer in The Crown. It is just the master shot of the trailer because it has so much in it, so many cameos. So right up front there, that's Azazel, the devilish teleporting member of the Hellfire Club from X-Men First Class, played by Jason Fleming. He's back, as well as Lady Deathstrike from X2 X-Men United, played by Kelly Hu. You can also see Aaron Stanford, Pyro, on the background right, seated on his vehicle as he was back in the Super Bowl trailer. And then on the left, that is Callisto, Dania Ramirez, leader of the Omegas from X-Men The Last Stand, and crouching beside her with the green hair, that is Toad, Ray Park, returning for the very first X-Men film in 2000. He also of course played Darth Maul in Star Wars of Animinus. Then all the way on the left in the foreground, you don't even really notice him at first because his face is covered, but notice that long blonde hair. I'm pretty sure this is Sabatu, Tyler Mane, who would also be returning for that first film. He won the bulky dude in the red and white striped shirt. This could be the Russian who is played by wrestler Kevin Nash and Thomas James 2004, The Punisher. Now what the mutant characters have in common is that they were all villains from the X-Men universe, 10005, as it is currently designated, and all these characters died. Like Wolverine killed Lady Deathstrike by plugging her with liquid at a Manti and Stryker's lab. Azazel was killed off-screen by Bolivar Trask's experiments between X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past. Toad and Sabretooth both died in the Liberty Island battle. Callisto was knocked out by Storm and was for sure obliterated by Phoenix when she wiped out everyone on Alcatraz. Pyro presumed obliterated as well, but in the Days of Future Past the Road Cut, there is a memorial that includes Pyro's Zippo lighter, implying that he would have died some time after that. I think the implication of the prune 20th Century Fox logo and the fact that it's not 21st century tells us that there was some incursion with Earth 10005 and that this entire history from the Fox era was erased. And maybe some souls might have been lucky, inspired and reassigned to other universes, but these were the misfits who were left behind to waste. The vehicles in the shot are also worth mentioning because in the background on the left, that is the Fantastic. Next, here on the wall you can see Copperhead writing, also a snake logo is made here, which is a clear hint. The reference is Serpent Society from the comic book. The Serpent Society is a team of supervillains in which there used to be a villain named Copperhead. According to recent rumors, the same Serpent Society will also be seen in Captain America Brave New World. Next we can see Deadpool shows Wolverine his birthday party Polaroid with his friends, telling Wolverine, "I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do." So it seems like Wade's own reality is under threat. This could connect to the rumored plot device of anchors in this movie, where in every universe there exists one individual whose death triggers the collapse of their universe, like the Owen Reese Molecule Man plot in Jonathan Hickman's Time Runs Out, a storyline that leads in the 2015 Secret Wars event that Avengers Secret Wars will adapt. And maybe in Wade's universe, it's this lonely suicidal Wolverine in the bar, whose soul Deadpool has to save to keep him in place as an anchor. Up next, we can see Let's F King Go. And then they take the huge leap from the eye hole of the Ant-Man skull, and then they leap into a sling ring portal. And one of these must have been cast by a sorcerer, maybe Doctor Strange or Wong or the Ancient One or America Chavez or Rintra, or I guess technically Ned? It's Spider-Man No Way Home, sling ring portals just like this way you use to open a rift between universes to get the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Peter Parkers into the MCU. And I